you'll see it happen.
It's at 2.4 miles left on the battery.
Yeah, so when that hits 1.5, you'll see the instant MPG gauge to the right of the speedometer. You'll see that'll drop down.
Oh, this guy's gonna give trouble.
It's okay.
And that EV icon all the way to the left will disappear?
No, that only disappears once your range is at 0.0. It'll stay 0.0 for like a little bit, and then that kicks out. Once that light goes, see, we hit 1.6 and the engine came on. So it actually did it before 1.5.
That's incredible.
Now
I did
this
not
is
hear the engine.
Yeah, I didn't feel it.
I
didn't hear it.
That's insane.
If you didn't point it out, I wouldn't know.
Nah.
It's finely tuned in the Gen 3 also, but you can't notice.
For doing 51 miles an hour.
That is insane. And it's like you don't even hear it either.
Yeah.
Well, I guess also road noise and whatnot, but even still, the Gen 3, you'd be able to hear the engine roaring at this point.
Right.
That's, wow. That's nice. That's smooth.
Even from the front, I didn't hear it. Maybe because you pointed out and I was looking at the screen. So what's going on now?
Right now, we still have 1 mile of EV range left, but it's in that transition where it was running the engine to start pre-warming the engine and the catalytic converter for the inevitable transition over to HV mode.
So the gas engine is not powering the car?
Right, but now it's not. If you look at your instantaneous MPG, when it's to the top at 100, that means the engine's off, basically. I mean, I can switch to this screen and show you that now you just, because we're going downhill a little bit, it's just total regen. So now, since we didn't leave EV mode yet, it's still regenerating the actual, see we're at 1.3 miles, you'll see that'll go up to 1.4.
Right.
Once you lose that EV light and you're in HV mode, there is no more regenerating into the EV pack.
Yeah.
But as long as that EV light is still lit, you could still keep recharging into the HV pack. See 1.5?
Yeah, 1.6 now.
So, yeah, we actually... Wow. See 1.8?
1.8.
But now the pedal sensitive. See the engine? See the instantaneous? The engine, it's still running the engine because it's still in that like pre-warm-up cycle.
Yeah.
Now if I let off a lot, now the engine's off.
So everything's automatic. It's designed to have the lowest emission.
If you look at the HSI bar, you see on top there's a little picture of a car. In a normal Gen 3, that actually says Eco. But in the PHV model, that's a car while you're still in EV mode. But if the car isn't lit up where it says, I believe, EV inside the car, that means the engine's running.
Right.
When the engine does shut down, you'll see that light will go out, and then you know you're in fully EV mode again, not that warm-up cycle.
And it's not stubborn to use the gas engine either.
No.
Right. It's it mixes and it blends smoothly and automatically.
Oh yeah. See how the little car became EV again?
Yeah.
So now we're running off the EV pack.
We have 2.1 miles now.
There you go.
That's off the highway ramp.
You see, but you lose when you're down that low in the EV pack. I just had to kick the engine on. You don't have the power that you have when you have a full battery.
Right.
To sustain a speed, see now it's back in EV mode again. For sustaining, it can do it when you're down like to 2 miles, 1.5 mile. But you don't have the same power surge like accelerating from a stop sign or a light.
Even the battery pack went back up to 2 miles.
Yep.
Like the limit was like 1.6, right?
1.3, I think we were down to maybe, right? 1.4, something like that.
I mean, when the transition started, it was like 1.6.
1.6, yeah.
And even regen back, up above that 1.6.
Right.
It stayed the same way.
I have to say, once we came off that light and, you went into power mode and then, you were saying, oh, well, we're running on engine again. I heard the engine this time, but I still didn't feel going into the engine. It almost felt like we're still driving in EV mode at that point.
Okay.
It's much smoother than...
So, I mean, you'll see, if you get a full 13-mile range before the EV light goes out, some of that miles towards the end are with the engine assisting a little bit because it's got to do that warm-up cycle. It needs it, to accelerate. See, like right now, I'm in the power area. I had to use the engine. If this was a fresh charged 14-mile battery, I would have been able to accelerate without that bar going past halfway. But it just can't do it once you're down that low.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like you don't even feel it. You know. Like,
the transition.
It's just seamless.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I mean, okay, I understand. I heard it before from other people that were saying, oh well, you know, you should really feel it and see it to believe it. But I do. You know.
Yeah.
It really does. It really is seamless. There's no better way to put it.
It's just more refined.
Yes.
So we have 1.6 now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still in the transition mode. We're not in HV yet.
No, we're still in EV, especially that little EV light's lit above the bar. See the bar on a standard Gen 3? That bar, the HSI bar, is actually separated with a little line in the middle. The left representing the eco area of the battery, and then the right representing the eco area of the engine. That middle line, that middle dividing line, is gone on the PHV.
Mm-hmm.
That line will appear when it switches out of EV mode into HV mode. Then that line will appear, and that little car that says EV above the HSI will revert to the regular eco indicator.
Okay.
So we're going battery, just it's more sensitive now. For the engine
Much more sensitive. If you look, I'm almost up near the power area. When this battery was fresh, that thing would be almost maybe only a quarter of the way full. Now I'm having to stay 3/4 just to maintain speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a shame, though. You were mentioning that once you go into HV mode, the display will change back to eco, just like Gen 3. But they couldn't do, they couldn't have the HV battery go kick back in.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why that's the case. It just stays at the 2 bars.
Right. Everything's different in the PHV. I just sell it off as it's a demo car. What are you gonna do?
No, I mean they went out of their way to have it go back to eco mode. Just
I got what you mean.
Yeah, it just seems like a little bit of a wasted opportunity, or not even. It doesn't make sense.
I know this is gonna be a little uphill over here, so we'll see how much of that 1 mile. Well, it's gonna kick the engine on, so it's not gonna use a whole lot of it.
Yeah,
that's one thing it does. Now, instead of wasting the battery, it'll use the engine for the uphills at the end. That would be the advantage if you had a button to control.
I would love this mode.
Yes.
So
okay.
So I can use the gas engine to go uphill and accelerate,
and
then regen it and stay in EV mode a lot longer and at higher speed.
Right.
Right.
That's why I wish they included the EV button. But I guess being like a test car, they want you to use that pack. They don't want you, But I would have loved to have that for testing purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, that would make that 13-mile range seem that much more efficient, and you could probably get more out of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you tell the car, well, okay, I want to use the gas engine now, and then I want to use EV at this moment in time.
Right.
So you don't have to kill the EV when you're going up a long grade or.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps the EV range more consistent too.
Yes.
Because you're taking the peak out, with replacing with the gas. So the maximum is going to draw is what, maybe 80 horsepower, which is the maximum the electric motor can draw.
Right. See, like now I have to use the engine just to maintain speed up this little incline.
Yeah. And it's probably charging the battery too.
It's right, because if you look, we're still at 0.8 miles when we were at a mile quite a while ago. So
yeah, you can go like this for a while.
It goes like this for a while at the end. Yeah.
And overall, we have 99.9 miles per gallon.
Yep.
And it could be 200. It could be 230.
Yeah. I'm gonna go a different way going home, just so we can try to kick into HV and drive, in the HV a little bit, because we're almost back already, and we still haven't even kicked out yet.
All right.
So I'll go a little bit out of the way. It's not a problem.
We still have more charge to play around.
If you keep driving around Staten Island, you're never going to have to get out of EV.
Yeah, I know. That's how I see with this mode where it does this funky stuff. That's how I think I was able to get 97.2 miles a gallon on a 24 and a half mile trip.
Yeah.
Because like when I was coming back over the Goethals Bridge, it used the engine to get me up the bridge, and then back down. I was still in EV. I didn't kick out yet, and it started to recharge it a good another mile again.
I was concentrating on the road it had so much. I forgot to film the people staring at the car.
I was on Highland yesterday, and a guy stopped at the light. He was in like